We are going to continue on with the hellish nightmare of Jubilee now.
If I can remember
Are you
his name
pro
right, because
financial
it's
crime?
Do you know
pro
Thomas-
financial crime?
Do you know
All right,
who Thomas
pause.
Timbo is?
Pause.
I think the people who clapped you have voted you out.
All right. Head back to your seat. You've been voted out by the majority.
Nice to meet you. Hello,
there.
sir. How are you?
Hey, so I'm going to be as respectful about this as possible, but the truth is your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being anti-crime. You yourself are pro-crime. Your side is pro-crime because you're a progressive.
How am I pro-crime?
So I'll give you an example, right? So your side, not Donald Trump, has passed a series of laws in California. Let's go with California. It's where we are right now. It's where I'm from. I don't know. Are you from California?
No.
Or okay. So in California, for example, the state legislature, completely progressive, just passed a law that limits sex offender registration to 10 years. It was life before. That's pro-crime. The legislature in California, which is progressives again, has passed a law that says the voter-induced three-strike law is no longer absolute. If someone murders someone, stabs someone on 3 separate occasions, a judge now does not have to give them life. That's a progressive law. That is pro-crime. You support that, don't you?
I actually don't support sex offenders coming off a list. I think they should be on for life.
Okay, so you disagree with progressives.
So hold on. You and I both agree that sex offending is a bad thing, especially child sex offending, right?
It seems like you and I agree on that.
I
The
agree on that.
legislature of California doesn't.
So I'm not here to debate the legislature of California. I'm here to debate
You're
Donald
progressive.
Trump being pro-crime.
But
And
you're
I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. When Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20 years. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein's the worst sex trafficker.
He's dead. I'm talking about people who are alive right now.
It's interesting.
Dude, wow, what an incredible argument. It's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein is the worst. Not her second in command. Okay, Donald Trump fucking likes him too. What's up? Not the argument that you want to make, I don't think. God, these guys are such goddamn nerds, bro. Actually, the second worst.
Interesting, though, you didn't use his name, right? Wouldn't he be the one who did this?
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought up
Okay.
Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, did an interview with Michael Wolff. He's on tape. I don't know if you've heard the tape. He says, my closest friend was Donald Trump. I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. Yes. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her. I wish her well. So
he did say that. That's true. Very weird. But that is a thing that he fucking said.
Yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex traffickers
Well, you just said they
like
were his
Epstein.
friends. He's
No,
clearly
I'm saying he was
something.
friends.
I love Mehdi, but honestly, God, his premises are so... They're so liberal. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. His, like, Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal is like, yeah, it is. Like, I think we got to get more creative when dealing with fascists nowadays. Like, you know, fascists need to go to prison permanently, you know, or things like what the partisans did to Nazi collaborators wasn't wrong, and maybe an important, an important method of dealing with modern versions of fascist movements, things like that. Don't you dare criticize Mehdi. You wish you could debate like him? No, I would never call into question his skills as a debater. He's great. And it does seem like he was blindsided by how openly and transparently fascist they were. Like, to be fair, if you're not in the spaces that I'm in, this is unironically next level brain rot where you don't realize like how much of the modern American right-wing movement is just objectively fash, especially under the age of like 35. Like, this was a shocking revelation for a lot of my normie friends who hit me up after this, and they're like, what the fuck is going on, bro? I'm like, dude, have you ever met like a 25-year-old right-winger? Like, young American conservatives are all like this. They're just insane freaks. I mean, who do you think was putting up the black sun on the Ron DeSantis campaign, you know? Like, they don't realize that so much of the youth movement in this country is just like straight up neo-Nazi. So much of it. And I guess like my brain is so broken because I have to deal with these guys online all the time and like the fans of these guys all the time. Like, so I'm kind of used to it. Whereas like the only time Mehdi actually talks to a fucking straight up neo-Nazi is when he's like debating some Israel defender, you know? So I'm sure he's like used to it from that angle, but he's not used to like the American Hitler Youth and what kind of sentiment they are circulating around in their field of discourse.
Was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied together. Epstein said I was his closest friend.
He's not supported the pedophilia part. The only people supporting pedophilia
that's not
are
true.
the left.
Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
So you think
and I think he's soft on sex offenders.
Do you have any friends?
Aren't you a neo-Nazi? You're constantly discriminating other people because they disagree with you. Do you think that's what a neo-Nazi is? Discriminating against other people because they disagreed with me. Do you think a difference in opinion is the same as like unchangeable qualities about a person, like the color of their skin or where they're from? That's what being a fascist is. Saying someone who has like horrible opinions is stupid is what makes someone a Nazi. Are you okay? Not liking conservatives is the biggest crime we commit against them. Yeah, and they will never stop me. I will consistently continue to dislike reactionary thought. They're not even in chat anymore. I don't think they ever were. I don't even think they're existing on the same planet. I like your style right now. Fits you better than the Gen Z fits. I like both. I want to see if they've seen or said anything else. Oh, nope. First statement. Following says January 20th, 2021.
Criminals?
Not that I know of. Certainly not child sex offenders. No, do you?
No, of course not.
Okay, so we're both in agreement again. So why are you defending Donald Trump?
If it came out tomorrow that one of your friends was a child sex trafficker,
you know what I'd do?
You'd stop being friends with them.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't say...
And then I'd go on TV and I would say, oh, look, Mr. Hassan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's pro-child sex trafficking.
What if Mr. Hasan said, I wish them well when they're on trial? Wouldn't you ever go at me for that?
You wish your friend well on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficker. Would you be mad?
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's
Donald
your
Trump
gotcha.
did.
That's your gotcha.
It's a pretty big...
I mean, would you ever let anyone go if they were liberal and they were saying that? No. I don't think you would. I think the only reason why you're saying that right now is because Trump is the one who said it. That's fucking insane. That's your gotcha? That my favorite president wished a prolific sex trafficker of minors well? Excuse me, what is he supposed to do? Break her out of prison? You're going to find a way to make that seem normal too.
Gotcha.
He wished a friend
pretty big gotcha.
Okay.
He praised
what you're really trying to do right now is you're trying to get back to Donald Trump on a personal level.
Elon Musk says his name is...
What's his policy?
Oh, you want to talk policies?
Yes.
So when he left office in 2020, he left behind the highest murder rate for over 100 years.
He left behind the highest murder?
Yes.
That is the most bad faith claim you could possibly make.
It's a fact from the CDC data.
And you know what? Here's why it's bad faith.
Can I finish a sentence and then you can come back in?
You're just lying to people. Donald Trump...
I'm lying? Can I finish the sentence?
Donald Trump does not cause the murder rate. Murder is a state level crime.
That's hilarious.
Gavin Newsom is more responsible for the murder rate than Donald Trump is.
That's hilarious. So Donald Trump's not responsible for murder rate, but other politicians who are Democrats.
Yes, because it's a state level law. That's like saying I'll say Republicans are too. State governors who are soft on crime are the ones that are responsible for murder rates. Let me finish the sentence.
When Donald Trump left office in 2020, between 2019 and 2020, according to data from the CDC, from the FBI, from Pew Research.
Oh God, what the fuck? What is that? What? I'm sorry. What is peeking out from the corner? at first I was going to make fun of this classic young American conservative fit, but that is crazy. Someone said Pringles guy has fallen. Oh my God. They got a magician? They got a magician?
The 30% increase in the murder rate between 2019 and 2020. It was the single biggest jump in the murder rate since 1905.
And who's doing
so he's pro-crime
who's doing the murdering?
and
Aren't they
pro-criminal.
responsible? Who's doing the murdering?
The murderers.
So aren't they responsible
but
for
why
the
did it
murder
go
rate?
up on his watch?
What?
Why did it go up on his watch?
Gee,
He's
that's
very
real
bad.
Wait. Who's doing the murder? Aren't the murderers responsible for the murder? Then why do you care about who governs? Because you're so hyper individualistic in an effort to defend Donald Trump that like policies don't matter at all. They just seemingly, there is no way to I don't know, lower the murder rate. And the only reason why it has consistently gone down since like the 70s is because what? People just magically got better. Wait, I have an idea. America became more diverse since the 70s. Perhaps that's the reason. Okay. That's what I'm going to go with. More immigrants. More immigrants. That's why the murder rate is lower now.
That's
He's
a real
very bad
hard
at fighting crime
That's a
for
real hard one to
Republicans.
figure out, right? We shut down the whole economy during COVID. We told everyone they couldn't go out unless it was to violently protest. We told people that if a cop tries to arrest you, that cop's probably going to get charged with murder.
No, I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it.
Right,
But the
so
pandemic
did he
didn't
cause
finish
that?
in 2020.
What?
The pandemic didn't finish in
No, but
2020.
you asked why the murder rate
and
went
yet,
up.
if we're
The
going to
murder
play the
rate
what
went up
about game,
because of
you
all
guys
these
blamed Joe
factors.
Biden for crime for years.
What Joe
For
Biden
years.
actively induces policies that are pro-crime. I'm asking
So
you
does
for
Donald Trump. Okay.
Name the policy
I'll
that's
name one right
pro-crime.
now. I'll
Please,
name one right
I've asked
now.
you for like 10 minutes.
I'll name
Please
one right
do that.
now. No, you haven't actually. You talked
What,
about
some of
California
them?
legislatures. He pardoned violent criminals
That's
who
not-
then went
that's
on
not a
to
policy.
commit
He
other
did-
crimes. You don't think releasing violent crimes into
A
the
pardon is
community?
a one-time thing. What's his policy
Do you know-
he has pushed? Name a law he
Hold
has
on,
signed.
a pardon
What
is a
law has he
one-time
signed?
thing. Is a policy is not one-time
That's
thing.
like Jimmy Carter pardoned the
You
draft. No,
guys
listen,
may want to dodge January 6th, the pardon.
I'm not dodging that.
Then
Jimmy
deal with
Carter.
it. Did you agree with
I'm
them?
gonna right now.
Do you agree with
Jimmy
them?
Carter
Do you
pardoned
agree with
draft
the pardons?
dodgers. Does that mean his
I don't,
policy was
I don't
no one
support
has to...
Jimmy Carter. Do you
Okay.
support the pardoning of people who went on to be prosecuted for sexually abusing a 7-year-old child, illegal gun possession, reckless homicide?
Now, see,
These are
there's
people
more
who
bad
released.
faith. See,
These are
there's more
people who
bad
released
faith.
from
He
prison.
didn't pardon someone for sexually abusing a
No, but
child.
they went
No, they did. No, he's wrong. They literally did. As a matter of fact, Trump administration's prosecutors argued that because the child sex abuse charges were discovered in the process of the January 6th offenses, that they quite literally made an argument that it should not be he should not be charged for it. They said that this guy would not have been outed as a pedophile if it wasn't for the J6 investigation because of the other crime that he committed on January 6th, but because Donald Trump was pardoning him for the January 6th offenses, that he shouldn't be charged with this as well. Yes. 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 How fucking nutty is that? Also, so many of them went back to prison or died by cop. It's kind of crazy that these guys were just like Final Destination style, destined to either die by cop or go back to prison anyway. It's kind of wild. I guess it's not that wild that so many of them were straight up sex offenders and pedophiles when you think about it, really. But it is kind of wild.
To be
Pardoned
convicted
someone
of it.
for
So
rebelling
that's it.
against the government that they believed
No,
had
they-
rigged elections. That's what he pardoned them for. He didn't pardon them
Like,
for...
since they're pardoned, they've gone back to prison. Yes, a lot of J6ers literally were arrested for other charges. A suspicious amount related to CSAM. Isn't that wild? Is that not wild? It's wild to me. Pardon January 6th rioter on run from solicitation of minor charge arrested. Texas authorities arrest Andrew Take in connection with charges filed before the U.S. Capitol attack. There are a bunch of stories like this. But when you think about it, I guess like, you know, getting arrested for storming the Capitol is like almost self-selecting. Here's another one. January 6th defendant killed by police days after Trump pardon. Indiana man who was pardoned by U.S. President Donald Trump over the U.S. Capitol riot was killed by police during a traffic stop days later. Matthew Huddle, 42, was shot and killed on Sunday when police pulled up his vehicle over and he allegedly resisted and ended up in an altercation with an officer. It remains unclear what he was being arrested for. Police added that Huddle had a firearm in his possession during the traffic stop. January 6th defendant sentenced to life in prison for plotting to kill FBI special agent who investigated him. President Donald Trump's mass pardon of January 6th rioters did not apply to Edward Kelly's separate plot to murder law enforcement officials, Justice Department said. Houston man pardoned by Trump, arrested on sex traffic charge. Oh, this is Andrew Take. This is the same guy, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, if you're going to be a pedophile, you know, move in silence, right? Like, not giving any tips to pedophiles here, but like, pick a struggle, you know? Like, you're a pedophile and you were like, as a pedophile, you're storming the Capitol. It's like you're begging to be caught. I mean, seriously. Alleged U.S. Capitol rioter who heckled police for protecting pedophiles served jail time for statutory rape of 14-year-old girl. January 6th rioter whose case was tossed after Trump pardon arrested on pending weapons charges. Florida man who prosecutors allege attacked police with an explosive device during January 6th assault on the Capitol, whose case was dropped following President Trump's sweep in pardons and commutations issued Monday, was arrested on Wednesday on pending federal gun charges, according to court records. Here's at least 10 of the pardoned insurrectionists facing other criminal charges. Emily Hernandez pleaded guilty in entering and remaining in a building in restricted grounds after Trump's pardon. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison for causing a drunk driving accident in 2022 that killed one person and injured another. According to prosecutors, Ball attacked police officers with an explosive device during the insurrection. He was rearrested days after Trump's pardon for illegal gun possession, given his felony record for domestic violence and strangulation. David Daniel, according to prosecutors, Daniel was part of the attempt to break through the barricaded Senate door and pleaded guilty to resisting police officers. He remains in custody after Trump's pardon on possession of child sexual abuse materials. Charges brought in 2024. Shane Jason Woods. Woods pleaded guilty to assaulting police and a press photographer. After Trump's pardon, Woods was convicted in April for multiple counts, including reckless homicide and driving under the influence in 2022. Theodore Middendorf. Middendorf pleaded guilty to destruction of government property on January 6th. He was previously sentenced in 2024 to 19 years in prison for sexually assaulting a 7-year-old and remains in prison. Taylor Toronto. Toronto was convicted of several crimes related to January 6th, including possession of an unregistered firearm. He was arrested in 2023 for illegal gun possession and making a threat to blow up the National Institute of Standards and Technology and was convicted this May. Brent John Holdridge. Holdridge pleaded guilty to parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building on January 6th. He was arrested in May for stealing tens of thousands of dollars worth of industrial copper wire. This one's funny. And faces charges of burglary, grand theft, and possession of stolen property. Okay, this one's just a crackhead. Let him go, you know? Zachary Alem. Alem was sentenced to 8 years in prison for his role in the insurrection. After Trump's pardon, he was rearrested in May for an alleged home invasion and theft. A lot of heroes here, chat. This is before we talk about the guys who got killed by cops in subsequent stops where they were like resisting arrest and shit. And it's like, to be fair to the fucking insurrectionists, if you fight cops with your fists and you crush their skulls, and then the president literally offers you a public pardon, you're gonna think you can do that again to cops, I suspect. And it turns out you can't do that to cops outside of the Capitol Police at the behest of the then President Donald Trump, who became president again. You can't do that to cops under normal circumstances, it seems. I don't know why you're making fun of these upstanding, possibly white Native American heroes. True. You know it's bad when the crack addict is the least bad one? Yeah. So just remember, some wonderful guys that Donald Trump chose to pardon here. And then, I guess nature ran its course. They were destined to be in federal prison somehow. Somehow, some way, one way or another, these motherfuckers were going to jail, dog. It was going to happen no matter what.
Part of sexual child abuse.
But they were criminals who committed those crimes. He let them out. So that means the crime rate goes up.
So you say they're criminals because they did the crime, right? Yeah. Would you extend that to illegal immigrants, that they're all criminals because they committed a crime? I have a feeling your position is going to change.
Supreme Court, we're going to talk about immigration.
Someone who's illegally entered the United States, not a criminal, but somebody who illegally entered the Capitol is.
Not according to the Supreme Court of the United States.
Yeah, what is a fucking civil offense, dude? What the fuck are you talking about? Yes, crossing the border illegally is nowhere near as severe of an offense as fucking pummeling a cop. Like, I'm like, look, I don't want to. Oh my God. These motherfuckers got me defending. These motherfuckers got me defending January 6th like a liberal. Okay. Holy shit. Yeah, dude. There's a difference between, like, I don't know, jaywalking and fucking doing an insurrection. What the fuck?
The Supreme Court has said that anyone who enters the United States illegally is not a criminal.
And we can jump to future claims.
Can I get the case site?
We can jump to 20. You want to get the case?
The case site, please. You said the Supreme Court
said... The citation of the case.
Yes, that entering the United States illegally is not a crime.
It's called Arizona versus United States 2012. Go look it up.
Pause. You've been voted out by the
owned
majority. Please return to your seat.
Jaywalking versus J6ing.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, sir?
Nice to meet you,
Bro, I don't want to see another Hispanic Nazi, bro. Give me the fucking magician. I want to see what the magician has to say. What is he going to pull out of that hat?
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. I really just more want to get an understanding. When you say pro-criminal, what do you mean?
I mean that when confronted with people who've committed criminal acts, Donald Trump has been either soft on them, friendly with them, pardon them, and of course, let's not forget, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left, I'm surprised it hasn't come up earlier, he's a convicted criminal himself sitting in the White House.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand you correctly, because I don't want to straw man you.
No,
you're saying
I appreciate that.
Every time...
Oh God, every single one of these, I guess Jubilee is self-selecting with like debate purgatory, but this level of debate purgatory is so gross, where it's like, I don't want to straw man you, but can you define your premises, please? It's like... Just fucking be normal, dude. What is this, like, incredibly soy? There is nothing more soy than being a Reddit debate guy, okay? And every single one of these guys has that exact same tendency. Much to consider for all the liberals, okay, in the chat who also behave in this exact same way.
Time that he's been confronted.
Not every time.
Most
I didn't say
times.
the words every time.
Most times.
A lot of the time.
A lot of the times.
Yes.
He's leaned towards criminal activity.
I didn't say criminal activity. He has committed crimes.
Criminal.
He's been indicted for 88 different criminal offenses in 4 different jurisdictions by 5 different grand juries. He was convicted himself on 30.
I don't care about this.
On Epstein.
He knows more information
right.
than I do.
Pause. That's time. Please return to your seat.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, take care.
You're just complaining because you've never grounded your moral axioms? Yeah, exactly. I just happen to be morally lucky and consistently find myself on the right side of history and morality. If only I had grounded my moral axioms so I could fucking defend Israel's genocide.
Surrounded is now a podcast, available wherever you listen. Search.
Oh my God. Can't wait to listen to this in podcast form. Oh, this guy looks gross. I can't wait.
Nice to meet
pleasure
you.
to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
Okay, I just want to say, I have no idea what the fuck's about to happen, but I will say this. Why do they have this kind of energy? This is white Drew Pavlov, by the way. He also kind of looks like Randy Fine in his youth. Like, he's got the Randy Fine body before he really let himself go. You know what I mean? A perfect hog. Perfectly rotund. Can someone tell me why they have this like weird energy where it's like, buckle up, buckaroo. It's time for you to get a lesson an epic meltdown. It's like, why? Why are they like this? Why are they all like this? What happened? Why? Why are they so corny? They must have spent too much time on the computer, I assume, right? Like look at this. Look at his fucking facial. Look at his attitude. Like, pleasure to meet you, my good sir. Time for an epic ownage.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-Constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards...
Yeah. Oh, everybody likes me.
In regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us. And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women...
What? That's your number one gripe, bro? Jesus, that's weird. I feel like, I'm sorry, that's a real weird way to enter the conversation. Man, Zoomers are unsalvageable. They're so cooked. Listen. If someone comes into the conversation and is like, guess what? The First Amendment should not defend pornography. I'm like, why are you this invested? Very strange thing to make your like primary cause. Like, hello, nice to meet you. I'm the anti-pornography guy. It's like, why is this in your mind so much?
Children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment.
What?
I think that, quite frankly, there are
Things like blasphemy shouldn't be wait, what?
a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderful.
Wait, I'm watching peak brain rot right now, dude. I'm sorry, I'm locked in.
Revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out. So
quite in this country, processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So
I'm sorry, but isn't this just like what people thought Sharia law is? Like being anti-blasphemy? What are you, a fucking medieval peasant? Like, what are you saying? Like, isn't this literally what they think is happening in like Muslim countries, but they just like want to do it Christian style? And in more often than not, in more cases than not, like it's not even happening in said Muslim countries.
This is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise, I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
whenever
the
it's in
Second
your
Amendment.
favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you don't
it's the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not.
What? There's no way. What? Wait, so he would be on board with like the woke Pope? Like, isn't the current Pope woke as well, as opposed to, I mean, the previous Pope was even woker than the current one, but like, they're pretty fucking pro-immigrant around those parts. So I don't really understand. I don't think that these guys want Catholic teaching at all. I think he just, I don't think he wants like whatever the Pope is saying currently.
Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree, and that's part of the problem.
You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I can't even remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local leaders,
who is the we, by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far-right conservatives sitting right around
white
me.
people.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
So,
well, actually, I have quite.
Some of the people in this room don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white and should stay that way.
How does the United States?
I don't understand. How can you be like? How can you call yourself pro-America and be Catholic? Like, this is the fucking WASP nationalist country. Like, we were ruthless to the Catholics for a while. Like, it's just like what bro is on some team, and I don't know what team it is, because like when fucking JFK became president, it was a big deal. Okay. Also, by his own estimation, Biden is the best possible president because he was Catholic. Like, what kind of, I don't know what he's talking about. What the fuck? I guess like for him, this fantastical Catholic movement is going to be like the best possible way to bring about fascism.
I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well, I use a pseudonym online.
Fair enough.
But fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well,
This guy's name is Pine Sap. He's one of the gropers that got to hang out with Mr. Fuentes. Ugh. He's just a groiper. The self-identified fascist making the rounds in today's viral Mehdi Hasan videos and online personality in Nick Fuentes' groiper movement known as Pine Sap. Here he is speaking at a Fuentes rally in June 2024 and pictured with other figures in the movement. What the fuck? They're such fucking... Ew. Mehdi also interviewed another groiper, Kai Schwemmer. He was one of Nick's leading fanboys in 2021. Gross. What?
Frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a...
God, he just keeps saying quite frankly. It's like... Evet. Ne aldın? Oh.
A sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote.
Quite frankly, the people.
Vote on it. Kings
So
were
isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards?
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt makes
supporters.
this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Wow, that was the one L for the Nazis. That they persecuted the church a little bit.
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad.
We may have to rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
No, this is a Republican. This is the young Republican. This is the Young Republican movement. He said a little bit. Oh, you said 6 million equals a little? Dog, this motherfucker is not. He is not. He is trying to not so subtly imply that it wasn't 6 million. That's what he's trying to say.
Hey, what can I say?
If Mehdi didn't say anything, he would have slapped it too.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Look how happy he is to be like, I'm a fascist. I'm a fascist. What are you going to do about it? It's like, dude, I'm telling you, these people, when they're not in these limited environments, if they were to talk like this in like a random dive bar in the most right-wing town in the United States of America, they would get their fucking ass beat, okay? Like they would, even in a Nazi bar, they probably beat the fuck out of this guy for being too much of a nerd, okay? But like in any other bar where they're like watching Fox News, average conservative, super fucking right-wing, very racist, they would beat the fucking doors off of this dude. 100%. Straight up, dude. I'm a fascist. Like, no shot. How do you reconcile that with saying this is the average young Republican? I mean, I'm exaggerating when I say this is the average young Republican, but there are a lot of fucking prominent, like, people who self-identify as like young Republicans in the young conservative movement do operate like this for sure. But they're not the most, like, they're not the average. They're not even close to being like normal Republicans in general. This is just the online face, unfortunately, of this movement.
Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats. They were aristocrats.
Are you in favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not.
You mentioned Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic,
He only killed combatants. Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah. Fact check by San. Franco and his forces killed or executed 150,000 people. That includes members of the Catholic clergy who were deemed either liberal or loyal to the Spanish Republic. He never killed any. He didn't kill people. He killed communists. Like, that shit goes hard in, you know, whatever fucking Discord server you are in. But like in the real world, when you say stuff like that, people are like, that's weird.
He only killed combatants.
Never killed any innocent people.
The White Terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill people.
You just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a Nazi
is mutual,
and being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't. In a state that I was running, I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you just seem offended.
What you're doing here,
you just seem offended to be quiet.
You just seem offended. Did I offend you? Did I offend you by saying I'm a fascist? It's like, dude, oh my God. Like, what are you supposed to have a conversation with this guy on? Like, I mean, seriously, what are we supposed to do here? What a fucking insane person. I'm sorry. It's going to sound a little ableist what I'm about to say, but this is no different than like talking to the mentally ill person at the fucking bus stop, okay? And trying to have a reasonable back and forth about like what kind of constitutional law theories is the Trump administration adopting? Like, what is this? What the fuck? What do you mean? This guy is just a fucking mentally ill charlatan. This is a motherfucker who is a COVID baby, okay? Some of his most formative years, he did not have any sort of social interaction, which would have probably softened some of these edges. And he spent all of that literally in fucking Nick Fuentes' Discord group. And this is the outcome. Now you released him into the wild, and he's like, yeah, I'm a fascist. Did I own you? Ah! Did I? Did I destroy you? Why are you so triggered? I'm a fascist. It's like, nah, man, you're fat. That's what you are. First and foremost, sorry. I'm fat shaming. I apologize. Like, you look like a baby, like an overgrown baby, LARPing as a fucking loser.
Quite frankly, like,
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really
Against
care
the
about
Jews?
being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a Nazi.
Sure.
Is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi.
I care
You
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi,
thing.
a fascist, and a General Franco
Well,
supporter.
yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
And
thing.
you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in
What
democracy.
are you doing here at a televised debate? This is democracy. Not what a debate and disagreement.
Because it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be.
Jubilee is normalizing fascism and you're signal boosting it, though. Dr. Felipe, for the longest time, I have not fucking watched any Jubilee videos. Do you think the cat's out of the bag with this one, considering that it came out yesterday and it already has 3.2 million views? Like, honestly, I understand where you're coming from. But do you feel like maybe if a video reaches fucking 3.2 million views over the course of not even 24 hours, perhaps there is a reason for why it's reached that level? So now it's like, unfortunately, a part of the political discourse. You and every other political streamer should boycott it from a moral perspective. You're right. We should just close our eyes to this thing that is moving and shaking discourse online. It's not a platform video. If YouTube allowed gore and a video hit 2 million views, would you watch it? If a video in and of itself was driving political discourse and it had gore in it, yes, I would at least talk about it. I wouldn't be able to show it within the terms of service, but yeah, of course I would talk about it. What kind of fucking idiotic argument is this? Why are you trying to debate lord me? Obviously, the reason why I have the no longer abiding by the long don't hurt me, I like you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just saying you're being fucking stupid. There's a fuck ton of gore footage that I have to scan through and don't actually play to fruition, considering that I can't because of the terms of service violations that it has on this platform. But, you know, I've been covering the genocide every single fucking day. What do you think is the footage surrounding this genocide? There's a reason why I'm covering this, because whether we like it or not, these guys are getting a lot of fucking motion. Unfortunately, you're right. Jubilee shouldn't be platforming fucking psychopathic fascists. You're not wrong about that. I agree. But cat's out of the bag on this one. You know, maybe you should take it up with Jubilee. Jubilee and Nelk doing the same shit. Nihilistic content farming of both sides for clout. Social media was a mistake. I am shamelessly going into the chat of streamers I know to ask for a raise when they're done. I'm going to do my third stream at Donkey Kong Bonanza. Not listening since I'm streaming. I'm going for another couple hours or so. I'm going to literally block. I'm going to ban you. No, I'm kidding.
Be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech.
I like that it's like you can see why the Department of Education was the first target. It's never been easier to understand the rise of Nazism in 1930s Germany. I'm a fascist. Conservatives start clapping. I watched the video and I feel two things. Feel much better about myself and my intelligence. Terrified for the future of this country. They're not even here to argue a point. They're just excited to finally have an opportunity to verbally spew hate at a brown guy without repercussion. This episode feels like the beginning of something really bad. 5 years ago, these people wouldn't admit that they were bigoted. Now they own it. At least the YouTube comments are fucking shocked.
after we win. I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned
the quiet part loud.
The whole reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction.
Past him because of the Nazi
even liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies and they want to act.
The biggest problem with this debate in particular is that this is not a debate at all. Fascists don't debate. They use debate to launder their views so they can gain legitimacy. But when it comes down to it, they simply want to kill people who aren't them. I mean, it's true. It's actually a perfect point. You just described the left. Leftists do not believe in racial purity. Fuck fascism, but ironically, you wanting to silence those you disagree with makes you just like them. Evil. Fuck fascism, but also what we must do is platform fascists and not push back against fascists and basically become fascists. And then if you fucking say that this person is a fascist and fascism is wrong, then you're just a fascist. But actually, the only kind of fascist that I suspiciously want to, offer criminal repercussions to. I don't know, man. There's a lot of crazy people out there, you know? You don't have to listen to every single person. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a guy who's like, I'm a fascist, I love Franco, is like, okay, well, what kind of conversation can we have with you? What kind of conversation is there to be had here? If it isn't our favorite domestic terrorist, HasanAbi Piker, I'm like the least successful domestic terrorist of all time. I guess the only thing I've done is terrorize your fucking mind by existing. Don't ban this guy. I want to hear what other kind of incredible takes he has to have. He's got to have much more in there. I wonder how many of my haters killed themselves because I wasn't live streaming for 3 days. There's got to be at least a couple where they were like, oh, I can't shit on him. I can't call him a terrorist. It's over. There's nothing left to live for. Like, it's definitely more than zero.
Enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power, and I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple.
It happened on your break, but did you see the Twitter of the guy whose friend killed himself because of BBC? I did. That's why I deleted Twitter from my phone. I saw that and I was like, I don't think this is productive. Yeah, I did see that guy who was like, you guys are joking about Great Replacement, but my best friend killed himself because of BBC. And he wasn't talking about the British broadcasting. He was talking about Big Black Cock. No, he wasn't talking about British Broadcasting Channel. He was talking about BBC, like penis, the penis of a black person. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's it. That's it for me. I think, like, I literally, I was shitting and I turned on, I pulled out Twitter on my phone while I was shitting just to see what was going on in the realm of discourse. And I saw that and I deleted Twitter from my phone. Yeah. Just ruined my shit. Immediately went to TikTok. Yeah. I did not want to know that, bro. Lol. I mean, it's just a part of the world, you know? It's just something that happened, I guess. Oh, well.
I'm not sure what you want to say.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I can't say the same, but thank you. Good to meet you, Mehdi.
Good to meet you, sir. All right. So I kind of want to start at the basics or the foundation. I want to see.
Can I just check?
Yes.
Are you a fascist?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I describe myself as I think just a Christian.
Fair enough.
I'm a devout Christian.
Good to hear.
So, I want to start, like, what is your connection?
It's funny because like people are not, especially this generation, they're not more religious. I think the reason why they're claiming I think that the reason why they say they're like Christian is because it's like, I guess they've figured out like a more appropriate substitute for saying that they're like a repulsive little freak racist.
To the Constitution, and why do you love it so much? Like, what makes it so important that Trump would defy something like the Constitution to you personally?
Great questions. My first connection is I'm an American citizen. I naturalized American citizen, took a pledge to this country, to the Constitution. As a previous speaker has said, Constitution's not perfect. A lot of things I don't like about it. I don't like the Second Amendment. There's various amendments. I don't like the way the Senate is set up. I'm sure there's things you don't like about the Constitution. The difference is, I don't think you can just illegally defy the Constitution. I don't think each and every one of us can just make up whatever we want. Certainly presidents who are elected with an oath, right? Donald Trump took an oath to preserve, protect, defend the Constitution. And now when he's asked on television, isn't it your job to uphold the Constitution? He said on NBC, I don't know, which goes against his oath. And I'm identifying specific amendments where he is violating. He's only 6 months into his presidency, defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He wants to defy the 22nd Amendment and be president for a third term. This is the problem we have right now. Free speech is under assault. The free press is under assault. Due process is under assault. The right to be in your home and not be invaded by federal agents, the Fourth Amendment, is under assault. So that, for me, is a problem.
Okay. Well, I'd like to start to say I really don't find the Constitution that important. I find it to be like a 300-year-old document. And it was created to defy the country that subjugated your ancestors in India. And then your parents probably moved from India to Britain. And then you move here to tell us that we should listen to a piece of paper that you were never even connected to begin with.
What is your connection to the piece of paper? That your drunk rapist grandparents came here? Like what? At some point? I don't get it.
So I want to say, like, if I don't care about it, why do you care about it so much?
Also, you said you're a Christian. What kind of connection do you have to a piece of parchment before paper even fucking existed? You know what I mean? What was it? Papyrus? Like, what are you... You just said you're a Christian. What? How is any of this like a appropriate argument? He's like, you care about a piece of paper that's 250 years old. Well, I care about a piece of paper that's thousands of years old. Cool. Oh, fun fact, linen. Okay. The Constitution is written on animal skin. Not a fascist, but doesn't care about the Constitution. I mean, I don't really give a fuck about the Constitution either, if we're being real. I mean, it's supposed to be amended, and there's definitely some tweaks that you need to make, okay? But I think the reason why he doesn't care about it and I don't care about it are entirely separate, where I want to make people's lives better. These guys seemingly, what, your new pet? I've got a great take for you. How does it feel knowing that the Department of Justice classified you as a terrorist, domestic terrorist, on live television in conference with the president on June 7th across all media platforms? You were on CNN and Fox News. How is that not your entire personality right now? Piker, 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 read the message, Piker, read the messages, Piker, read the like, this is the type of guy who luckily did not kill himself while I was gone for 3 days. But this is exactly who I'm talking about when I say like some of these dudes will literally die if they weren't able to do this, you know? Damn, bro. Are you okay? Yeah. Isn't this most likely a little kid? Yeah. And their parents probably lost Medicaid and SNAP benefits in the next 2 years. And that kind of financial hardship is most likely going to destroy the already shitty relationship that they have because they produced a crack baby. And then they're never going to tell him that this is the reason, but a big part of the reason why they will divorce inevitably, if they haven't already done so, is because of the crack child that they put on this planet. Yeah, they won't tell you, chatter, but you'll know.
How do you run a country without any kind of laws or due process? And by the way, you do care about it, because without the First Amendment, you wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, I agree with the First Amendment, and I think.
So do you agree with Donald Trump's crackdown on the First Amendment? He's imprisoning people for their speech. He's threatening free speech media organizations. He's threatening peaceable assembly. These are all rights under the First Amendment. Why aren't you bothered by that as a conservative who claims to love the First Amendment?
So I don't like the First Amendment. I like free speech.
Okay,
so
the First Amendment is what guarantees free speech. I'm from the UK, by the way.
Speech.
I'm from the UK,
yeah, and you guys
which is
don't
a
have
democracy.
that.
We don't have the First Amendment.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the things I do like about the Constitution. I wish the UK did have a First Amendment.
So people
I'm a
don't get
journalist.
arrested for praying outside abortion clinics and stuff like that, right?
So you're opposed to people being arrested for speech crimes, I assume.
Well, it depends what it is. If it's like the
Oh,
people.
so you're like one of the previous speakers. You don't.
No.
As long as it's someone who agrees with you, you don't mind the crackdown.
No. I support.
Either we consistently support
I
principles
support
or we
free
don't.
speech 100%.
Okay.
I don't think anyone.
So do you think Donald Trump is defying the Constitution by cracking down on the First Amendment?
So I think he's cracking down on free speech, like the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, who was just
released from prison by a judge saying his First Amendment rights were violated.
And I agree with the judge, and I disagree with Trump deporting them. But I think that's more a matter of.
Oh my God. Half of the guys was like, nah, he needs to be deported. Wow, there's some infighting in the conservative movement.
Free speech and not the Constitution.
I think that's pedantry at this moment. I think you've conceded that he is cracking down on free speech, which is the First Amendment. So he is defying the Constitution. So it's a pleasure to be in agreement with you, sir.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thank you very much.
How do you audition for this episode? They literally were like, who can sig heil harder, I think. Like they were trying to get the best, the expert sig heilers for this one. Let the magician talk. I need to hear the magician. I need to hear what kind of crazy fucking takes he has. Because ain't no way a guy that looks like that has normal opinions, okay?
I'm Mehdi.
Mehdi, great to meet you. My name is Kai. Do you, Mehdi, believe that the Constitution is important and good?
Overall, yes.
Do you believe that that Constitution can be eroded through democratic processes?
What do you mean by erode?
The original intention of the Constitution being destroyed through a purely, democratic or legal process.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Okay.
I think if you're democratically amending the Constitution per the rules of the Constitution, that's fine. If we could find a constitutional way to get rid of the Second Amendment, I'd be pro that.
So let's pose a hypothetical wherein the entire population of the United States has drastically changed.
Yes.
And the population now has completely different intentions about what to do with the country. Let's say it wants to give it all back to Mexico, dismantling the United States of America. If that's the case, then what's the use of the Constitution? It hasn't defended the country. In fact, it's allowed for its destruction.
I don't understand the premise. How did the whole country change?
Demographic replacement, mass migration. I mean, we're seeing a change in demographics.
Wait, what? He thinks that this is Kai clips from the Republican Hype House on TikTok circa 2020. I could have done better without that information. I don't need to know things that much. There are things that I don't need. There's a Republican Hype House and he was a part of it. Okay. Dude, that's awesome. What if, I know this kid from then. Yeah, what if the Constitution was eroded democratically because people got together and voted to erode the Constitution to disband the government? How do they do that? By Mexicans coming into the United States of America. Okay. Why the fuck are they escaping Mexico if they want to turn America into Mexico? Like, they came to America for better financial opportunities, But actually, secretly, the real goal overall always was to inevitably what? Secede the nation into Mexico? Why are so many of these guys voting for Trump then? How did that happen? The cabal is sending them.
And
also, I wish we would secede into Mexico. I mean, think about it, dude. Claudia Sheinbaum, that's my president right there, straight up.
What is the... I do want to talk about immigration today.
I hope we talk about it.
Everyone's itching in this group to get to immigration.
Yes, sir.
I've saved it. I've saved it for you all. But given we're on the sense of the Constitution, and you asked the question, what is the proportion of immigrants in this country? What proportion of the population is foreign-born?
It's very difficult to measure because the actual projections of the number have been changing more rapidly.
But what is currently? The best estimate of official estimate.
I think it was about 15%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just under 15%.
Which is, by the way, more actually than the original estimate was. So
but
we
15% of the people are going to change the country, change the Constitution. How's that going to work? It's actually a nightmare. As someone who wants to amend the Constitution and get rid of things like the ridiculous way the Senate is set up, or the Second Amendment on guns, or various other things, it's really hard to change the Constitution. They made it almost impossible. You know, last time we had a constitutional amendment?
You know
like
what?
20, 30 years ago.
I understand, which
and
is
it was
why
all, I think members of Congress pay.
Which is why...
It's impossible.
I get it.
So where are you getting this scenario where 350 odd million people all become foreign-born migrants or the children of migrants, immediate migrants, even though America is a nation of migrants, and then abandons the Constitution and gives the country back to Mexico? Outside of your imagination, where is that happening?
Let's bring it back to the actual discussion. What you did is you entertained my hypothetical, but then instead of sticking to the point of the Constitution, you said, well, how would you bring about your hypothetical? And then when
because you missed out the part where the Constitution is quite hard to change.
Okay, there's a difference between hypotheticals and just like making up an insane story. Like making up an insane hypothetical. Because an analogy has to have some semblance, like there's some closeness to the truth or some likelihood. Okay? It's like saying, okay, what if we democratically voted to just fucking nuke ourselves? Huh, what do you think about democracy then, stupid? It's like, I don't think people would do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? Notice how I did an analogy there, and I used how fucking insane your argument was to show you by using an example, like a comparable example. That's precisely the reason why, you know, you have to make sure that the hypothetical that you're using is within the confines of permissibility. I'm just saying, it's so stupid. It's like, oh, you like democracy? What if we democratically voted to fucking nuke ourselves? Okay, well, yeah, I guess then democracy is bad in that incredibly unlikely, impossible to happen scenario.
Hold on. I understand that. I gave you.
I also wanted to get a sense of where you are, and you're a great replacement guy. So that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and you're a real good journalist because you don't talk to people who identify as like a political ideology. I mean, that's a very liberal idea.
I don't debate fascists. I'll talk to them, but I wouldn't debate them.
Frankly, that's upsetting. I think there's a big problem when, you know, we value freedom of speech so much, but any, you know, real journalist is not going to talk to somebody because they identify with the politically incorrect ideology.
Just talk to
politically incorrect ideology. No, man, it's just a death cult, and it's patently a waste of time. Why do these guys sound like this? They all sound the same. They're like, they have Reddit speech. Is this TikTok speech patterns? Is that what it is? Maybe I'm just like lost in the sauce, but they all, quite frankly, you don't want freedom of speech, it seems. It's a waste of time, and I'll explain why. Look at Israel, okay? That's what happens when you accelerate in a fascist state. When you get to a fucking fascist nation state, you turn into Israel. Do you want America to turn into Israel? Because we're fucking getting close. Some of these guys will say yes. And then at which point it's like, it's self-defeating. It has been defeated over and over again. Historically, it's a suicidal ideology because the values that you hail as like ultimate are ridiculous. They're silly. They're made up. You've just made it up in your mind where you're like, I'm daddy's special boy and I must be preserved and protected and all of my enemies must be killed. That's not like a functioning political movement. It's just, you're just basically setting the clock back a little bit. That's all you're doing. If that's your final goal, then this is an unsustainable worldview. Why are you anti-war? You know these guys are the ones they send. That's not true. No, these guys will not go to war. What are you, crazy? They're going to do propaganda.
To the guy in front of you. What are you talking about?
You literally stopped talking to him, and then everybody had to vote him
Debating
out.
versus talking is very different.
Okay.
It's pointless, right?
Okay, yeah,
he doesn't
yeah.
believe,
So
he doesn't
you're
believe
sitting
in free speech.
Okay.
He doesn't believe in
He was
democracy.
freely speaking with you. You're the one
No,
who
he
shut
doesn't.
up.
No, he said it very clearly.
Okay,
he said, I
okay.
support
We'll
free
tone it down.
speech
We'll tone it
so
down.
that I can
We'll
get
tone it
one
down.
election.
Yeah, this is not even like, this is not even a debate. There's no back and forth here. It's just so utterly unproductive because they're not there to like actually have a conversation. Like they're not even defining why they think this is a permissible society or this will yield good results or whatever kind of like future society that they want to envision, that they want to defend. They're just literally rage baiting over and over again to be like, I said I'm a fascist. Like they think it's a gotcha to just say. It's basically the debate equivalent of going up on stage and shitting yourself, okay, in a crowded room and then being like, ha, I've destroyed you. You all smelled the shit in my pants. No, you didn't do anything. Like this was not even remotely productive. As a matter of fact, if people on the left did the exact same thing that these guys were doing and just basically said, no, it's because I'm a Maoist, and then that's it, like they just left it at that, every one of these fucking losers would be clowning on them and being like, look at this fucking idiot. They thought that they made a good point. You know? You have to at least like defend the principles of this ideology you're supposedly espousing and advocating for. The only thing they're doing is stopping the magician's right to speak. I know. I need the magician to speak. And I suspect I'm going to eat those words soon when he does end up speaking.
After one election, my guy comes in, and after my guy comes in, nobody gets to speak or vote again.
We all listen to your
Why would I
conversation.
debate that?
We listen to your conversation. Let's
Well,
bring,
I'm
let's bring
reminding
it
you
back
what
to
it was
this
said
topic.
because you just
Let's bring it back to the
misrepresented it.
Constitution.
Please do.
I
First, fourth, fifth, 14th Amendments. Those are the
Sounds
ones
good.
I'm saying Trump is defying. Do you
Sounds
support that or do you deny them?
I believe that the Constitution is valuable because it represents particular interests of the founding stock of Americans who made this country great.
Do you think due process is important? Some would say that's at the very core of American Constitution.
And
Fifth Amendment.
And what I think makes the Constitution function, what allows it to save this country and to actually make it work, are the people who are...
I'm not sure where you're going with this argument.
Hold on. I'll show
is
you.
Trump defying the Constitution? That's my claim. You can have these weird hypotheticals
We're
about...
taking it into a different meta, which is, what's the function of the Constitution?
I'd rather not have your...
You already did.
Yeah,
literally
but now I
just
don't
5
want
minutes
to.
ago when you took it to immigration.
Now I don't
pal.
want to.
Okay, let's bring it back.
I want to bring it back to the First, the Fourth,
Awesome.
the Fifth, and the 14th Amendments, and the 22nd Amendments.
Look, then
Either
let
you
me
say...
throw it to your question.
Hold on, you got two very good positions here. One is to say, I don't think he's defying them, and I'll say why you're wrong. Or you say, I don't care that he's defying them, as one of your colleagues said, in which case, I don't know where this conversation goes because you don't believe in democracy.
That's fair. Do you think it's wrong to dismantle the Constitution?
So there's two options ahead of you.
No,
Do you
hold on.
agree?
This is important.
Do you
What I'm
agree?
doing
So
is
is
I'm
Donald Trump... Okay, let me ask a question back since you're asking me questions. You're not answering the basic point.
This is why you can't debate the far right on these topics. They aren't even trying to be on topic. I know. Like they're not even staying on the subject matter because they don't give a shit. And especially if you're a liberal, this is the limits. That's the problem with Mehdi's worldview in general, is that like it still exists within this naive framework almost where like because he's so preconditioned into like defending institutions and like liberalism and these like foundational values that he thinks that the other person sitting across from him is also going to abide by said standards and maybe even feel shy about like revealing their position. But it's clear that these guys are not shy about revealing their positions. So all this ends up turning into is just them constantly going, are you triggered because I'm a fascist? Are you triggered? And yeah, the secondary market consumption for this video is just shock and horror and people going, oh my God, these guys are fucking insane. Is this what the modern conservative movement looks like? But every single time these guys are rage baiting, there's also a group of people that feel emboldened and galvanized by it. And their group and their message spreads, unfortunately. That's it. Apparently they misled him and said he would be debating normal MAGA people. Yeah, I think this is definitely a step beyond normal MAGA people. Like, I have yet to hear from a normal MAGA person. I will say this is the normal MAGA person online. This would be like Mehdi Hasan debates 20 of his Twitter reply guys, right? But this certainly is not normal MAGA people. MAGA influencers, sure.
Do you think Donald Trump is dismantling the Constitution? Can we agree that Donald Trump is dismantling? Because I'll agree with you on that. I think he is dismantling the Constitution.
I think he's
illegally, unconstitutionally.
I think he's interpreting it in ways that are more.
Which judges do not agree with him on.
Okay,
which the Supreme Court has not agreed with him on.
And the judges don't agree with the people who wrote the Constitution.
How do you know that?
Okay, let's take your example of the Second Amendment. Let's say that a bunch of judges...
I didn't give the Second Amendment.
No,
hold on. Fourth. You don't want to talk about the ones I've given.
You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me.
You're ignoring me. First, Fourth, Fifth, 14th, 22nd Amendments. Those are my amendments that I came with today. If you don't want to debate them, just say so.
I'm trying to understand your ideology.
Say so.
You believe that dismantling the Constitution is okay
about the first,
when it's
fourth,
about parts
fifth,
of the Constitution
14th,
that you disagree with.
Amendments.
You would be fine getting rid of the Second Amendment, even though that would be a dismantling of the Constitution.
No, because it would be done via constitutional means. I'm not the one sitting here like your pal.
Okay, you have agreed. You have agreed the Constitution.
I'm not the one saying you just get rid of them willy-nilly.
I don't agree. We're ramping up.
I don't agree that Joe Biden should come in and say by executive order, if Joe Biden put out executive order saying Second Amendment no longer applies. I can round up everyone's guns. I don't agree with that.
Your result is exactly the same.
I don't agree with them. No, but I don't agree with the method.
No, amending the Constitution through the normal process is entirely different than just doing something unconstitutional. You are supposed to be able to amend it. It's a living, breathing document, right? I mean, this is just like, I don't know. It feels like there's a fundamental disagreement here where this guy is just like, no, you don't understand. Changing it at all is actually technically dismantling it. They're all Rumble YouTube fascists. One works with Elijah Schaffer on LFA. Jubilee set him up with channeled influencers.
Of doing it, it's unconstitutional.
That's fine.
He would have been defying the Constitution, and I would have said so, but you can't bring yourself to say so. We've been sitting here for several minutes. All of your friends have seen me ask you several times, do you agree that Donald Trump is defying the First, Fourth, Fifth, 14th, and possibly 22nd Amendments? Your colleague at least admitted that he's defying the First Amendment.
I understand that you came in here. What you are attempting to do is simply frame this conversation like you did with the first claim about Donald Trump. But then when anybody asks you any kind of question that presses you to the least degree
I answered. I said I would dismantle the Constitution, but I would do it constitutionally, not by executive order.
So what I'm trying to get to is to prove to everybody who's watching that what you care about is not the Constitution in what it represents or creates. You care about the Constitution only insofar as it allows you to achieve your political worldview. We agree on that.
No, I care about the Constitution
you agree with the
because I don't think presidents should be fascist dictators and violate the Constitution. That's what I'm saying.
You care.
And he is different. I don't think the president should have the power to lock you and me up if we write an op-ed that he doesn't like.
That's
I
awesome.
don't think the president should be able to crack down on us if you and I decide to go protest outside his parade.
I
don't think the president should be able to deprive you and I of due process or come into our homes without a warrant.
And I think,
well, let's end an agreement then.
All right, pause. You've been voted.
Okay, well then he walked him through literally the violations of the Trump administration. And he agreed with all of them. But unfortunately, everyone in that fucking audience is so stupid that they don't even understand that Mehdi Hasan literally pointed out the exact constitutional infringements by pointing out the amendments. He would not back down. He would not actually answer those questions. So he just personally described the violations piece by piece and got him to literally agree with every single point. Okay. So I guess there's no disagreement. Got it.
I'm glad
it's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you, Kai.
You don't agree with him because then you're saying everything antithetical to Mehdi's.
So Trump is defying the First, Fourth,
Fifth, and 14th, and maybe the 22nd soon.
Okay. So I want to focus on the First
and
the Fifth.
Okay.
So you say that Trump is defying the First Amendment? Can you give me an example?
For example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events. A Trump-appointed judge said that was against the First Amendment. He's been cracking down on media organizations he doesn't like over their speech. If they say stuff he doesn't like, he, for example...
Okay, I'm bored of this.
I want to start by asking this. Do you care more about helping
Immigrants are overall good for America. Okay, let's see.
Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true. Where'd you get, what's the basis of your claim for that?
Are you talking about people that get naturalized in the process of becoming American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized Americans in this country.
Yes, but
you didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also, the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
positively, I would argue.
People like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields that we go to college for.
It's because of immigrants, dude. What do you mean? You think they're not building the homes fast enough? Is that the problem? Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? This part is the dumbest part because it's like an immigrant is not the reason why the housing market is the way it is, you fucking moron. It's because of people using real estate as a speculative asset and refusing to build housing by need. Like, you think that if you were to deport 20 million immigrants, all of a sudden the landlords were going to be like, well, I guess we got to lower our prices. They would be like, oh, well, all the homes and all of my property value, all of a sudden, I guess I just got to lower it. I guess my little nest egg is no longer is no longer as important since we racistly wiped out 20 million people. Yeah, rents will never rise ever again. Yeah, you know what'll also make it easier, dude? If we just fucking wipe out like a chunk of the construction force as well, a chunk of the labor force that engages in construction, approximately 25%. That will certainly boost the building efforts and the building initiatives. 60+% of all agricultural output gone, wiped out overnight. No more poultry, no more meat, no more farming, no more construction, nothing. Your grandparents, sorry, no one to take care of them.
That we get into debt for. And because more blue-collar work, especially in construction, agriculture, and so forth, and the hospitality industry, we cannot get jobs in those fields, so it requires us...
Are you looking for a job in construction?
I am not, no. I went to college.
Okay.
Many people here are in college.
Oh, shit, my bad. No, she wasn't. She didn't. She doesn't want that. No, never mind. Never mind. She doesn't want to do that. That'll fuck her nails up. You know what I mean? But like someone else got to do it. Not me, though. How about we give those guys the proper paperwork so they can get better wages? You know, since they're doing the same fucking job, if not more, than you are. How about that? I think that's the best possible way to go about it. I know. Revolutionary idea. It's called giving people the proper documentation and then helping them collectively bargain for better wages and better benefits and better healthcare overall. As a matter of fact, not even have to argue for better healthcare as a benefits package, because healthcare should be given by the government. You know, crazy idea after crazy idea.
Or went to college, but we can't even find jobs in our fields, also because of the H-1B visa program as well. But in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically, we cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been...
That's not a very good argument, I don't think. But anyway, let's just
record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Wait, what? What did she think that what? Nah, just unemployment for undocumented is at a fucking all-time low. That's what Mehdi Hasan was talking about. I was about to criticize Mehdi Hasan here for saying like, well, unemployment is at an all-time low. Well, it doesn't matter because these are not good-paying jobs. So most people are criminally underemployed. So there is that problem, but that's not something you can address regardless without actually tackling the root cause, which would be capitalism. It seems like you aren't a fan of this, Hasan. No, I love Mehdi Hasan. It's just, this is, I don't know.
I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I
I'm an immigrant and an American, and I employ many American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here.
And
I employ Americans.
My parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was born
But you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your parents are not Americans.
Not at
Oh my, are you fucking kidding me? Bruh. She said, not at this moment. Too much. I'm good. Nobody else. That is crazy. That's fucking nuts.
this moment.
So hold
no,
on, your parents
they're
are Americans.
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not
Yeah, you're
opposed
born
to
here, right?
naturalization. I
But
never
are your
said that I'm
parents-
against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
You did.
naturalization.
You began. You're very. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants. You said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I want
are
to make the
immigrants.
claim
You
that
st-
we cannot
I came
even,
here as an immigrant. I'm
but
an immigrant.
at this point, when they came, the
I
United,
think that
the
people
United
aren't
States
happy with the way
economy,
this is going for you.
the United States economy was not at.
It's better.
Yeah, once they found out that she was also a daughter of immigrants, they're like, yeah, get her out, get her out. Get her out both of this country, literally and figuratively, and also get her out of this debate.
Now, the American economy is better than it's been
Not
for
from
many
the-
years.
not from the
And I can say
statistics
that
I
as someone who
see.
doesn't like Donald Trump.
We're
Which
giving
statistics are you
millions
seeing?
and billions of dollars
Which
to
statistics
people
are you
of,
seeing?
minorities as well as
The reason the
immigrants
economy is doing badly now is
that
because
we
Donald
can- that
Trump's
we're giving
tariff
it to
policy.
We're giving millions and billions of dollars to minorities and immigrants. Okay. Her parents came here as immigrants. She was born here. When Republicans talk about the strain that immigrants put on the American economy, they're lying. But the way that they lie is literally her. They point to her and people like myself and many others who are the children of non-citizens, who are natural born citizens, who do have access to some of the limited social safety nets, like and you know, public education and things like that. They add that to the calculation to make it seem as though immigrants are actually costing the American social safety nets this much. They're not talking about immigrants. They're talking about American citizens, just born to parents that are immigrants.
We can't
Nothing
even
to
get
do with
businesses.
migrants. In fact, the
They can't
congressional
even start businesses.
Yeah, the thing that is I guess like kind of wrong, or the thing that like causes me some gripe with Mehdi is, and his argument is like, he's not addressing the anger that these people have. This is the problem. And their anger is directed in the wrong direction, but there is some underlying truth behind the reason why they talk about economic instability. This is a major issue with liberalism. To say, well, the GDP looks good, the economy looks good, the American economy, the American economic engine is in full tilt, baby. Like that kind of stuff doesn't actually address the real issues that people are experiencing. That's the problem. That's why I keep saying like, oh, I don't know about this argument. I don't know about that argument. Because like the appropriate way to look at this is to say, yeah, you're frustrated, but you're blaming the wrong guy. You're frustrated, but someone who is responsible for the economic uncertainties that you are experiencing has also told you that the reason why you're feeling angry is because of Mexicans. That's not the case. It's because of Trump, and it's because of the Democratic Party as well. It's because of the Republicans, it's because of the the Democrats in charge, they are not addressing your needs. Okay, and I totally understand that. But we can't come to a reasonable conclusion here if you keep repeating over and over again that it's actually Mexicans that are responsible for the fucking housing shortage. You know what I mean? It's just fucking stupid. The debate points you mentioned earlier were the right way to approach this.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business.
No, I understand because
like that's why but of course, come on, I think most of them on the set are just pathologically racist nut jobs, not suffering proletarian, directing their anger in the wrong direction. You're not wrong, but you're not talking to them. You're talking to their fan base, and their fan base is filled to the brim with angry racist people that are proletarian and redirecting their anger and frustration in the wrong direction. A communicator such as Mehdi Hasan is aware of that reality. That's why he's doing this. But because he's so used to debating people who are at least like somewhat knowledgeable and much better at debating than these fucking dildos are, and want media careers, so they don't normally come out and say that they're fucking fascists. Are you triggered? That he's so hyper focused on immediately tackling the argument that is being presented to him, and not tackling the actual reasoning behind the frustration that like people in their fan bases and people who tune in from their fan bases experience. They don't even have fan bases? No, but there are people who will tune into this video and will find themselves on the MAGA side or find themselves like sympathetic to this kind of argumentation. And if it's properly addressed, he's very good at debating, even against his weight class. He can really throw his weight around. No, Mehdi is probably the best debater on the liberal side for sure. My point is that in this circumstance, his expertise is actually kind of harming him a little bit. I think the POV Mehdi's coming from is that this girl has a problem that immigrants are taking the jobs, and he's saying, look, I'm an immigrant and I'm creating jobs for you morons to make her understand. No, I know, but I don't think that's a good enough counter. I would never criticize Mehdi's skills in debating. He's fantastic.
Immigrants
SBA is giving people billions of loans.
Take any loans.
They're giving them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans.
I'm not
from
saying
SBA.
you did, but I'm
Okay,
saying that
I did.
statistically speaking, they're giving billions of
So
loans.
should we do
to these
statistics?
people.
According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans.
Sure,
They're more
absolutely.
likely to start businesses
I'm aware of
and
that.
hire Americans.
No, I'm aware
right?
of that.
Immigrants
But
are
we
more
also-
likely to pay in taxes than take out in benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional Budget Office. Let me just finish my point and then let you come back
Okay,
in.
go
The
ahead.
Congressional Budget Office, which is bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I
All
understand
right,
that, but
pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your
Nice
seat.
to meet you.
nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Mehdi.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk
Great.
about all those things. I need
All
to
of
know
them.
what you mean.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for
You think lower
culture.
wages are
They're
good for the
for
economy?
society. Where are the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where are the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's
look
the
at
basis for saying there are lower wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry. It's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the Economic Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla, companies from like Silicon Valley, they engaged in mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas. And it's kind of just standard economic thinking.
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time.
That's not.
See, this is what I mean. His argument isn't wrong. Immigrants are used as a second-class labor pool to actually depress wages for the entire labor pool. Okay? That's correct. That is not incorrect. That's actually a correct argument. The issue, on the other hand, however, is that The issue, on the other hand, is who is firing the fucking American labor force and displacing them. Refocus your enmity towards those people. And also, on top of that, understand that if the guys that were coming in had wage parity, then it would not be a depressive force on the existing labor pool's wages. Just like unionization actually draws up wages for the rest of the sector, okay? People who are in unions in the same sector often have 10% higher salaries than those who are non-unionized, but as a direct consequence of unionization and improving the wages of the unionized workforce, you end up scaling up the pay grade for all workers in the same sector in the same vicinity, because now other companies have to compete against the unionized workforce. Undocumented labor pools have the exact opposite reaction. Undocumented labor actually ends up depressing wages because you have a constant fucking underclass that you can replace to do these tasks. So, of course, as long as undocumented labor exists in the country, these guys are always going to work with them, especially when the penalties for the bosses is marginal in comparison to the many benefits they get from offering no benefits and much lower pay, and then sometimes paying the penalty when they want to displace and fire the entire labor force by calling ICE on themselves. That's the issue. It serves nobody any purpose to say, well, Mexicans are going to do the jobs you don't want to do. I think that is a almost supremacist argument that people make. There is truth to it, but the reality is the appropriate thing to do to increase wages across all sectors is to document the undocumented labor force and allow them to join unions and make better demands for higher wages and higher benefits and better compensation overall so that all wages can go up. H-1B visas would be perfectly fine if they had, one, wage parity, and two, no fear of deportation if they lose their jobs and are allowed to unionize as well. But these guys don't actually want that either. I think the economic reasons as to why these guys are anti-immigrant is simply because they want to find a different reason other than that they're fucking racist. Let's be real. They are trying to make an economic argument for why they don't want Mexicans in the country. That's it.
Immigrants. In fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact,
that's not true, though. There are so many studies that track this, and Mehdi is correct. If there are any losses that are perpetrated by economists, they're relegated to certain sectors and certain income ranges. There was a Department of Labor report released in May, and the idea that they depress wages generally is wrong. I mean, I'm talking about undocumented migrants, and no Department of Labor study shows that undocumented migrants don't depress wages. And I would call in the question, because there is no lump sum of labor. This is true. This has been fucking proven in like the 17th century by economists. Okay? There isn't a finite amount of labor because when there is more need for labor, that means more construction, more housing, more roads that you need to build, more teachers to educate people. You know what I mean? So like it's a problem that fixes itself. However, there is one issue. If you keep them undocumented, if you keep them unprotected, then they are a never-ending pool of replaceable labor that can actually depress wages because they will do the same jobs with much lower pay and in much worse conditions. It's slave labor, one step removed.
And a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages
Who's that
and
by?
raised innovation.
Who's that by?
productivity. National Bureau for Economic Research.
No, hold on. That's where you publish studies. I'm asking
Yes,
for
I
the
didn't
author.
memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you didn't. Right?
Can you
It's
give
from-
me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did
The
he.
vast majority of
Hold on,
studies.
let me speak,
Please.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So listen, he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the spatial approach, which is what all these economists use, you're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach, where you look at
Wait, what? When immigrants come to an area, natives leave? What? Why are these economists not studying the how racist the native population is? Because they're just like me. Why are they not accounting white flight into their economic arguments? Am I crazy? Did I misunderstand what the fuck this guy is saying? Also, ironically enough, every single area in this fucking country that is densely populated is literally it happens to be the most diverse areas in the country. So that argument is fucking insane. They are literally centers of commerce and centers of GDP production, okay? What the fuck what is this guy saying? Why won't these economists factor in white flight and my feelings about being around Mexicans? This kid actually cooked him? Damn, this young guy is cooking him. Cooked him. Yeah, I mean, he did if you literally think that economists are supposed to factor in the pre-existing population and their fear and resentment and anger towards people that don't look like them, I guess.
look at the specific firms that immigration is going into, like Kim ETAL 2013 did, you find a net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration. You find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all your studies are flawed.
So 0.5%.
Oh, he's talking about pre-existing labor pool and H-1B visas, creating an environment where wages are depressed in certain sectors as a consequence of H-1B visas having additional reasons as to why they wouldn't advocate for higher wages and they could actually be paid less. He's not wrong about that. He cited et al. As an author. I don't think he meant that. I think he just meant like Kim et al. Kim ETAL. What's the difference between migrants entering the workforce and women entering the workforce? I mean, you're not wrong, but these guys don't want women entering the workforce either. So that's a point for them, I think. Yeah, women came in the workforce, okay, and they took my job away. And also they were working for less money. Really? What do you think? Yeah, these guys don't want women in the workforce either.
Weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive.
Yeah, women is the immigrant of the world.
Massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for. Massive increase in tax revenue. Immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately, including undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you has proudly said that.
Call us correct.
One of us proudly. Oh yeah, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages? Because for example,
I actually do.
For example, do you support raising the minimum wage?
Absolutely, and you can't do that when you're bringing all these people coming into.
Wait, why not? Wait. Hold up. Why not? Because a Mexican don't know what to do with $15 an hour. Like, wait, I'm sorry. Why wouldn't you be able to raise minimum wages if there are migrant workers, as a matter of fact? What? Because I don't want Mexicans to make $15 an hour. That's why. They're already making too much. I don't want it. Because that would make me feel bad.
It's not the reason the Republican Party blocks the minimum wage. You think Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage because they're worried about immigration?
Did I say I voted Republican? Did I say I voted Republican?
Well, I'm on a show that was called 25 far-right Republicans.
That doesn't mean I'm going to support every single Republican candidate.
So you and I, good. So you and I, let's agree. We both support raising the minimum wage. Yes,
100%.
$7.25 since 2009. It's lost 30% of its value. If you care about wages, we should be raising the minimum wage in this country, not scapegoating migrants who aren't the cause of low wages in the country.
Good call from Mehdi. Okay.
You know who's causing low wages? Billionaires, millionaires, and people who won't pay fair wages to their wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a native.
I get the monologue, right? Now let me respond.
You had one.
No, it's maybe because immigrants would be willing to work on lower wages. What the fuck are you talking about? Then the solution is literally what I said. Intifada revolution, okay? The solution is what I said then. Okay, if they're documented, then it's not a problem any longer. What do you mean? Yeah, that's my argument. Okay, only one solution. It's literally not the immigrants that are at fault here. What the fuck?
You had one with your one study that had a 0.5% impact. Go.
Can you explain it fully? I think I and most of chat don't get it. Sure. If you have a bunch of people coming into the country that are purposely kept undocumented, because the difference between an undocumented migrant and a documented migrant, or an undocumented migrant and a natural born U.S. citizen, is just paperwork. Okay. If they're purposely kept undocumented, then they do not have the same protections that you do, right? Your protections are already marginal. They're already limited. But undocumented migrants do not get even the modicum of protections that you have, right? This way, they are more desperate and they are kept desperate so they can work for much lower wages. Okay? They will work for much lower wages. Companies know that they will work for much lower wages. Companies know that there is always going to be a pool of second-class citizens in this country that will work for much lower wages. So why the fuck would they actually hire you when it's going to cost them a shit ton more money? You're going to expect benefits when these guys don't expect benefits and will work for literally tiny, tiny fucking slivers of dollars. Okay? It's that simple. They will work for much lower pay than you and will do the grueling labor and won't actually complain. However, if they were actually documented, then all of a sudden they could complain. All of a sudden they could actually work for better wages. They could demand better wages and better benefits, as a matter of fact, if they were to collectively bargain in the form of developing unions. In that process, there would no longer be a secondary market that these companies could utilize. It's that simple. I explained it earlier. Unionization leads to increases in wages in the same sector in the same vicinity for even the non-unionized workplaces because they have to now compete with higher wages and better benefits from the unionized workplace. It's even better if you're directly unionized. Immediate 10% increase in your salary on average. So if unions are responsible for increasing wages across the board, then undocumented migrants are responsible for decreasing wages across the board because companies would rather rely on undocumented labor because they're cheaper and they cannot advocate for their workplace protections. It's that simple. The solution to that is not to deport the undocumented labor pool. The solution to that is to actually document them.
Yeah, and your study sucked that you didn't even know who wrote it, right? So let's get back to the point, right?
Because I don't need
and
to know
there it
one
goes
study.
again. The
majority of studies say that wages are not impacted by migration.
The majority of your studies are flawed. That's what I'm telling you.
Not my studies.
Right.
Neither of us are economists. It's the economist studies.
Don't assume who I am.
Are you an economist?
I could be.
But
right?
are you?
I could be.
Are you?
I'm not going to tell you.
Are you?
I'm going to major in economics, right?
Are you an economist?
Oh, he's going to major in economics eventually.
No, not right now.
Okay, so when I said neither is economists, I was correct.
Just don't assume
to use your
things.
favorite word.
See here, dude, this is nothing of substance. You look at the red flags; they're coming up. Let me get
That's
to the point.
great, but
so
you're
when
not
you
an
talk about
economist.
when you talk about the CBO, one thing you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier that unemployment.
Do I
was
know
like
what it means? I thought we're not doing assumptions.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned we were like at like 4.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting
That's how
poverty
it's always
wages.
been counted.
Yeah, and
I'm against poverty wages.
you
Can we
won't let
agree
me
again?
Yes. If you go to like the Lookwood Institute, they calculated a way where it's like functional unemployment. Okay. If you account for things like just people who make around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part-time, if you count all of those people together and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs.
Wait, he's not wrong. This part is correct. No, he's not wrong. 25% of the overall like eligible labor force is unironically underemployed. Yes, there is a major issue with the gig economy in this country, and it's been completely eviscerated due to all of these dumb fuck Republicans gutting what remained of like labor protections for the past couple of decades. The solution to that, of course, isn't to just like randomly decide to deport immigrants. It's so fucking stupid. These guys are so dumb. How can you literally see the problem, correctly identify it, and then turn around and you're like, and that's why we got to deport immigrants? What the fuck? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Please, someone make sense of this. You build this argument and it makes perfect sense. And then your solution is to take a random sidestep and like punch someone else. How the fuck does that work?
We don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good.
I feel like Bongino or Halo. That's amazing. Thank you. What an incredible name. The Piker Broadcasting Service is sponsored by you. I feel like Bongino or Halo and many others. Please subscribe to continue showing your support to the Piker Broadcasting Service, which is an ad-free service for all. You will never see ads on the Piker Broadcasting Service.
Good job shortage, and when you keep bringing these people in, and they're taking those jobs.
The good job shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can say
Who hires
that.
the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So
But
when
that's not
when
the
you bring up
cause-
these big firms,
Okay, so
that's the
let me
way
ask
they
you.
keep
Let me
wages
ask you
down.
a
You
question.
understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms would suddenly raise all the wages?
notice
That's
how
what
you
you.
didn't
Great question. This is a great question from Mehdi. It's true. Do you think? Do you think that these guys would magically? It's the same principle behind like the Pareto principle. These guys will be like, immigrants are coming in and they're fucking my girlfriend. Okay, I can't have a girlfriend because the market, the dating market is polluted. There's too many people with their salsa hips. It's like, okay, let's say we now magically wave a wand and it's a white only nation. Do you think you're going to get pussy? No, you're not going to get pussy, dumbass. It's going to be the top 20% of Aryan chads that fuck 80% of the Aryan ladies. Okay? That's it. You haven't actually fixed the problem for yourself, okay? All you did is eradicate the salsa hips. That's all you did. That's it. That's it. It's so stupid. You're still maidenless, okay? It's dumb. It's dumb as fuck. Just like if you were to eradicate the millions of migrants, documented and undocumented, from the fucking labor pool, you're not going to get better wages as a consequence of that. You're just going to cripple the economy. You're going to destroy the economy. That's all you're going to do. I don't get it. What was the correct problem he identified? That there is criminal underemployment in this country. 25% of the labor force is underemployed. He's right about that. That is a real fucking issue. Okay? If left unaddressed, we're going to have more and more economic instability. That's it. That part is correct. But immigrants are not responsible for that. That's fucking stupid.
So what I said, you
That's
notice
what
how
you
there was
believe.
a complete of your ankles.
That's what
all
you
right?
believe.
You pivoted the hell
That's what
away
you
from the
believe.
conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on
Are
the
your ankles
subject.
okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage
They will
if
be
we
forced
stop
to.
immigration?
They will be forced to.
great
When you
biggest
increase
naivety.
labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're
But
tightening
this
the
is a
supply
very
of
simplistic
labor.
understanding of economics because you're
Okay,
not,
explain I'm wrong.
He's not wrong. I can't believe this motherfucker is using labor bargaining power. Oh my God. How can you fucking say that and then turn around and be like, it's the immigrants that are at fault? They're also laborers, you fucking moron. What are you talking about? They're also a part of the labor pool, you jackass. Do you think when someone is a Mexican, all of a sudden they're not like a laborer? Well, how does this work? This is why I'm fucking annoyed with this idiotic argumentation. He only read half the book? No, he didn't read any of the book, okay? He thinks immigrants are scabs. I guess.
Tell you how you're wrong. Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create
Don't
jobs. I
assume
came
that.
into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions.
Like, if you think there's two tiers of labor, okay? You got laborer and then you got Mexican, then make the Mexicans laborer, okay? Put them in the labor class by doing what? Documenting them. There you go. Boom. Magically solve the problem, okay? The issue with like Nazballs and people like this that try to act as though the problem is fucking migrants is that it has no, like, it's just wrong. It has no materialist understanding. There's no difference functionally between a Guatemalan migrant laborer and an American laborer, okay? An American citizen who is a laborer in the same fucking field. There's nothing. There's no difference. They still got two hands and they're still fucking hammering the nail the same way, okay? That's it. They're both working. They're both doing labor. They're both having their surplus labor values stolen by their bosses. The solution to this problem is not by, I don't know, culling the fucking pre-existing labor force. The solution to this problem is to make sure that there is a bottom in the labor force where everyone is properly protected. That's it.
About you as being correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like. I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit
Why?
about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left-wing
I never
politics.
said Americans are
I don't
lazy.
know why you say this.
I never said Americans are
yes,
lazy.
you are.
The only person
You're saying
attacking
immigrants
people
have
is
to
you.
come into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do.
I
That's
never
exactly
said
what
those
you
words.
said.
When did I say
Oh,
it?
really? You
When did I
didn't
say
that?
it?
So
We're
why
on
don't we-
YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube.
It's yeah, you're so triggered. Except he's literally losing an argument. He's not even. He could have even won this argument, ironically enough, if he just didn't fucking randomly become insanely racist here. But I guess that's the whole point for these guys, ultimately. He's just like shaking with racism.
Rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words
You
never
said-
came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants? Why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Seen this too often in the rural South. This is unresolved anger problems, man. Scary when it goes this far.
Pause, you've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
You're going to have to go.
Nice talking to you. You're going to have to go, bro, is what he said as I left, to an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about.
Yeah, it's racism. Please. Yes!
Hey, how you doing?
Yes.
Good to see you. How are you?
Yes. The magician. Okay. I can't wait to hear what comes out of this motherfucker's mouth. Okay. Oh, my Lord.
So, what type of immigrants are we talking about?
Oh, my God. Oh, bro. I am Persian, bro. Donald Trump is my president. Oh, bro. What type of immigrant are you talking about, bro? Oh, let's go. Oh, hell yeah. I'm locked in.
What do you mean?
Like any immigrants or
immigrants, that's what I said. Immigrants
are illegal
overall.
immigrants.
Undocumented immigrants also contribute
Illegal.
greatly to the U.S. I say undocumented. I don't think people are illegal.
So let's put it this way. I mean, I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't
How
even
do you feel about the fact that people...
Wait, oh, you're from Iran? Oh, I couldn't clock that. I just, thank you. I couldn't see the pin. Oh, hell yeah. This guy's awesome.
Here want you out. Are you okay with that?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
I mean,
oh, shit. Oh, shit.
You're all on the same side. You're part of one group.
No.
You've been clapping each other.
No, I mean, there are conservatives here, there are far-right people here, there are Republicans
But how
here.
do you feel about that guy wanting me and you to leave?
But, you know, let's
I'm just
stick-
wondering. Wait, this is the topic of immigration.
It's not
how
about
do you feel about the guy?
It's not about my feelings towards them.
Okay.
It's about staying on this topic.
Okay.
And
Immigrants
talk
are good for America, yeah. You and me.
If you weren't barely Turkish, you could not get away with joking about an accent like that. Okay.
We're good for America. And the guy over there wants us to leave. So I'm just wondering how you feel about that.
So I believe that there has to be strict immigration laws.
Okay.
We have to make sure that the people are coming here have the good intent of the United States in mind.
That's not my claim, but okay.
So
my claim is about immigrants are net positive.
If we just open our borders to every single person
No one
that wants
calls
to
for
be
open
here,
borders.
you know, that claims that they have economical hardship in their country.
Who's calling for open borders?
No, I'm just saying, you know.
Or it's a straw man. So you're just saying a straw man.
No, I'm saying
You're
that
wasting time with a straw man. No one's calling for open borders. I didn't call for open borders.
You wasted
I said
time.
immigrants who...
You wasted time trying to cause division between me and my friend
Division?
over
He
here.
wants you to leave the country. That's a pretty big deal.
All right.
I mean, you can ignore
Like
it,
I
but
said,
that's your side, my friend.
Like I said,
You
you were
made
the
your
one
bet.
that tried to derail this argument.
Derail?
By bringing that.
It's
Even
literally
though we're
core to my
trying
argument. I'm saying immigrants are good to America. People on
And-
your
and
side
I
are
asked
saying
you, what
we
type
should
of-
leave.
This dude has 100% tied a damsel to some train tracks at some point in his life. He's dastardly. There's no other word to use here other than dastardly. Okay? Oh my God, I love him. Oh, he's so amazing.
Not me.
And,
me and
I
you.
asked you, what type of immigrants are we talking about? Are we
Immigrants
talking about
overall.
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 So
I mean,
so
we're not going to.
so
you, want to
believe,
get me? You want me to get into like particular communities? I'm not
so,
playing that
so
game.
you believe that people that come here without
Overall,
any
help the
respect,
society.
without any respect to our laws and our border, you know,
What are you saying, man? What are you saying? People who are coming here to fucking with no respect for our laws, like, dude, people are coming here to survive, okay? There's no like secondary motive. There's no other alternative reason. It's just, that's it. That's what they're coming here for. They're not like, oh, I can't wait to be in America so I can avoid their laws.
are going to be good for this.
Also, you can't be fucking Persian and be talking like this about immigrants, dude. What the fuck do you mean? Like, you're literally at most second generation. Your fucking parents were afforded amnesty. Shut the fuck up. What do you mean? Half of the guys in that room don't even want you there. What are you talking about?
This country.
No, of course not.
So you can't say that all immigrants overall.
I never said all immigrants.
Well,
I said
you
immigrants overall. Immigrants overall doesn't mean all immigrants. Sorry to break that to you.
All right. So we have to make sure that the people who are coming here have the good intent of this country in mind. Agreed?
Yes.
All right,
Irrelevant
good.
to my claim,
But
but
when you
agreed.
have undocumented immigration going
Yes.
on,
Yeah.
you can't vet that. You can't make sure about that. Let me real quick, talk about, my background. There is no the American embassy in Iran. So in order to come here, you have to stay in line for 4 years, and you have to go through some serious vetting procedure to get here. But I made it. And that process has to be in place because, you don't want terrorists
But
to fill this country.
I made it too. I'm an American citizen. I went through lots of vetting. I took my test.
And that's how
But the guy
it
over
should
there
be.
wants us to leave.
But
he wants us to leave.
When people
so people don't really care about vetting, do they?
But
it's not really about vetting, is it, my
But
friend?
people should not have
You're
the
in denial.
right. People should not have the right to ignore our borders and our laws.
What about those
to
of us who
come
don't
here.
ignore the borders? Should we get to stay?
Of course.
But he says we shouldn't.
Well, I'm not debating him.
You kind of are because you're all together on this.
No, I'm debating you.
Okay. And I'm pointing out to you that your argument is in bad faith because these guys are actually speaking the truth and you're in denial about who's on your side. He wants you gone.
The guy in the back's like, yeah, Mehdi's cooking here. I do want him out. Look at his hat. My hat's way cooler. Get him out.
never claimed that I'm on their side or they're on my side. I'm here to debate you.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
By the way, this is so funny because he literally got clapped because he's Iranian. Like, because automatically his position is untenable for the rest of the races in the room. So, like, yeah, on the issue of immigration, their point is get him out. So you can't even actually have any sort of response here. He won't be prepared.
Nice to meet you. Hey, how you doing? I'm Mehdi.
Edwin,
Nice to meet you.
The question is, immigration is good for America, right?
Overall, if you look at the net positives
Oh,
to
God. Oh,
things like
brother.
our
Here we
society, our
go.
culture, our food, our economy, our general diversity. I know the D word is a bad word in places like this. I think immigrants have been a net positive. I think if you look at your everyday lives, we all benefit from immigration.
And what kind of conservatives disagree with that?
The guy,
Besides
the guy,
racist
some
guy
of the guys who told me to leave this place and go back to, I'm not a citizen.
Do you think all conservatives?
No.
Oh.
No, in fact, Ronald Reagan, who's a president I wasn't a big fan of until Donald Trump.
Oh my God, this guy keeps waving dude. Oh my God, whenever they see brown conservatives, they just keep fucking voting them out. Oh no, they just immediately, they're like, nope, flag him. Get the Mexican out.
Coming on now, people like Reagan look good in comparison. Reagan said in 1986, our country is a nation of immigrants. Our immigrant heritage is our strength. He gave an amnesty to 3 million undocumented migrants. He understood the value of immigration. So I'm with Reagan.
Yeah,
Although
I'm
this
with
guy's
Reagan.
putting his thumb down there. So
I'm with
Reagan's not
Reagan,
popular in right-wing crowds these days.
Yeah. Well, he's popular with me.
Good to hear.
I'm a deferred action of childhood arrivals. I'm actually.
Bro, are you okay? Did you get lost? Did they lie to you? Did they say, what? Hopefully this is a moment of self-reflection after this entire thing went down, right? What does that mean? I'm ESL. DACA, he's a dreamer. That means his parents brought him into the country when he was under the age of 18, when he was a child. And under the Obama administration, he got Deferred Action on Childhood Arrival, DACA, which is an executive order that allowed him to go through this incredibly rigorous process so that he can consistently have his immigration status held in limbo permanently. You have to go to college, you have to retain a job, you can't leave the country, you can't get into any fucking criminal trouble whatsoever, because if you do, you immediately get fucking deported. And it's crazy because you didn't do anything. Like, you were a baby, you were a child, you could not consent to coming into the country or not. And this country, in most circumstances, is all you have known. You have no connection to your home country. You have you're American through and through. How the fuck do you consider yourself a far-right conservative as a DACA recipient? That I don't understand. Like, it literally, you got kicked in the head by a horse or something? Like, how did this happen? Did he stroke out like John Fetterman? What's happening here?
I was an illegal immigrant myself. I came here when I was 10. I'm what you would call a legal alien now. I didn't have any say on my parents' choices.
Yes.
Do I think that they were well-meaning by wanting to bring me over for a better future? Absolutely. I believe that.
Yeah.
Did they break the law? Yes. Do I agree with people breaking the law? Not necessarily.
Okay, self-deport? Like what? Bro, what is he doing? What? What is he saying?
Do I think that there's ever a situation where you can break the law for the better or the
Bro just debated himself only to lose on the premise. What the fuck?
greater good? You know, immigration is it's an interesting issue because I do agree with you that
good to hear.
Everyone is an immigrant in the sense like. Can you tell me a little bit more about your journey?
I've been here 10 years. I'm a proud American citizen. I'm a dual national. I'm British. I'm American. And I am an immigrant who's contributing to this country. So, yes, I'm very much proud of America's immigrant heritage. I'm part of it. And despite what one of the other people said on this show earlier, yeah, everyone here, unless you're Native American,
All right,
is a descendant of
pause.
immigrants.
Sorry, you've been voted out. Please
Yours.
return to your seat.
Thank you, man.
Nice to meet you.
What?
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Actually, a fan. I see you a lot on Piers Morgan.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Yeah. So, my argument is that Americans are what is a nation? A nation is a geographical location full of people who have some things in common.
Did that guy sneak in? Like what happened? Why was that guy? What did the previous guy say? Like he just came up and was like, I think sometimes breaking the law, especially when it comes to immigration, is good because I'm like literally a recipient of my parents illegally bringing me here, and I don't think it's a crime. Did he have an epiphany in real time? Like what happened? He's an MMA guy, 1000%. Call Felix, he will explain. Is CTE brain? Didn't we see this Amish motherfucker before? Jedediah. I feel like we saw Jedediah before in a previous video.
So, I think some of the things typically in history are going to be like race, religion, ethnicity, language. These are some of the things that we have to have in common in order to actually have a functioning civilization, especially in self-government. I'm not necessarily a giant fan of self-government. I'm a Catholic nationalist. I'm not a fascist. You have to have at least some things in common in order to
Agreed.
actually have a civilization. And the immigrants, especially illegal immigrants that come into this country.
Jeff Dippard. No, stop. Why'd you have to do Jeff like that? Stop it. This is the bad universe Jeff. This is the Jeff that doesn't do dips, okay? More like Jeff no dippered. This is Jeff Nippard if he didn't work out, okay? He just instead of hitting the gym, he maxed out his racism points.
Now, disrespect us. They hate everything that we believe. They don't even speak our language. I watched, after Trump got elected, I watched an interview of an illegal alien woman crying and about getting deported, and the entire interview was in Spanish. That is a spit in the face. It's disrespect. They don't care about us. They abuse our system.
So
and
you've gone from a teleological argument into just a bunch of series of wild, unsubstantiated
Well, I'm asking
claims.
you, what is
I don't accept any of those claims. That they
what's
hate
the point of
everything
a
we
country?
stand for, and I don't accept. Well, I'm not going to deal with the teleology. I'm going to deal with the false claims that you
Okay,
made.
go ahead.
There's no bait. What's your
Like, there's never been, you know what's really crazy about this? There's never been a point in American history where we haven't had an influx of migrants coming in from a country that didn't like primarily speak English. That has just never happened. Okay? This is one of the most American aspects. Like, it is probably the only good thing about America. Like, immediately. There has never been in the history of the United States, okay, from even before 1776 and certainly after, has there ever been just only English speakers coming into the country? Okay? There have always been other nationalities. There's always been other languages. Okay? Motherfucker says England. You think America was entirely comprised of the English? Is that what you think was going on? Because even then, there were the French, there were the Dutch, there were the Germans. You understand that, right? And those motherfuckers didn't speak English. What the fuck do you think? Like, this fucking dipshit's great-grandparents at a certain point, okay, I assume, given his Mormon or given his Amish background, even though he said he's a Catholic nationalist or whatever the fuck, you can't fool me, Jedediah. I know you speak Dutch Amish, okay? At a certain point, your fucking ancestors were living in goddamn mud huts speaking German, okay? That's what they were doing. Don't come to me with this bullshit. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. The idea that there's like, well, they're speaking Spanish is disrespectful. What do you mean? No, you're disrespectful. What you're saying is antithetical to the development of the American country, okay? The nation state of America. You just are doing the other side of the story, which is classic. Whenever like new waves of migrants are coming into the fucking country, you got motherfuckers who are complaining about how they don't speak American. That's it. That's always existed as well as migration being a persistent force. The other side of the story is that there have always been people who go, nah, you're different. I don't like you. You don't speak my language. You're untrustworthy. Here he goes again, forgetting that famous English speakers like Ponce de Leon, Christopher Columbus, and Leif Erikson.
Basis for saying that all immigrants or all undocumented immigrants hate everything we stand for. It's funny that you said you're a Catholic nationalist. How did most Catholics get to America? Irish Catholics, Italian Catholics. Immigration. Much of the people coming across the southern border are Catholics.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
So it's really funny that you say you're a Catholic nationalist, but Catholics came to America via immigration.
Yeah, so
immigration is good for America.
Yeah, but there's the new kind of Catholics I don't like. You know, the Spanish-speaking kind, except for the original Spanish-speaking kind of Catholics.
You and I can agree. Otherwise, people of your faith wouldn't be here.
No, we were here on this side of the world, in this continent, from conquest. We came over here, and
but the big surges of numbers, as you well know, because you're a smart guy, Italian, Irish immigration waves, Catholic immigration waves.
Okay, yeah, and I'm not even.
Are you
claiming,
against those?
I'm not even.
Were
claiming,
you against those? If you were alive,
I'm
then?
not even claiming that
'Cause
immigration
a lot of people
is
were
bad.
against those.
I'm not claiming immigration is bad in all cases at all times.
What is your claim?
My claim is that immigration, especially now, and especially for foreign people that have nothing in common with us.
What the fuck did a Catholic have in common with the OG white Anglo-Saxon Protestants? What are you saying? Half of the motherfuckers were escaping the Catholics, dog. What are you saying? What is this world right now? What are you talking about? And the dudes you were talking about literally spoke Spanish, motherfucker. Why do you think they speak Spanish? You think the indigenous population naturally spawned with Spanish built into their brains? What the fuck are you saying? He's like, oh, well, you know, them Spaniards coming down the southern border, we got to fucking put a stop to that. Why are they speaking Spanish? What? None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. The Aztecs in Spain simultaneously invented Spanish. It's much easier to be racist, like they are having a tough time trying to dance around it, where they don't make sense. Yeah, it's kind of funny because like the first party that came in and were like, I'm a racist piece of shit, and I think I would rather live in filth and make sure that there is not a single person that doesn't look like me and isn't just as inbred as me on living on U.S. soil, right? Like that guy has a much easier time making a convincing case because he's just more honest. This guy's like, well, I'm not a fascist. I'm just a Catholic nationalist who seemingly hates the Catholics that are coming from the southern border who speak Spanish, even though my ancestors also spoke Spanish as Catholics. And also, some immigration is good, but others is not. And I will not tell you what is bad about the immigration because I'm too afraid of saying I'm scared of brown people. Like, that's it.
It's funny that you say it's especially
a negative
now.
thing.
I forgot your name. My apologies.
Brian. Yeah, how many
in every era there has been a Brian who says, "I'm not against immigration, just immigration now."
Okay.
This is what people said about Italians. It's what people said
That's
about Irish folks.
unfortunate, sorry.
Said about Russians, Poles, and now we're saying about
why
people
should
coming
I care
across the
about
southern
that?
border. Because you're not being you're
Why
being a
are-
little disingenuous saying
Okay.
I'm only against immigrants now. This is a trope.
that disingenuous?
This is because it's a trope that's been used by nativists throughout American history.
No.
And every wave of immigrants has come in and faced the same hate and animus and bigotry and lazy tropes. And every wave of immigration is ultimately
Well, I think-
assimilated, integrated, benefited the
let me
country. In
make
fact,
a-
assimilation right now, according to Jacob Victor from the University of Washington, assimilation rates based on language and citizenship and naturalization are higher now than 100 years ago.
Okay, let me make a statement first. I think that you in your
Cooked. Also, second gen, it's over. Okay? Second gen is almost complete assimilation. By third gen, it's over. Every third generation immigrant actually falls into the same fucking idiotic fail son pattern that we all as American citizens have fallen into. Okay? 100%. Even the moral minority or whatever, the fucking representatives hailed as like the best minority group, East Asians specifically. Third generation. Look at TikTok. They're American, fully fleshed out, getting fucking awful grades, just like everybody else. Modeled minority, not moral minority. I'm sorry. That's Paul Weirich's moral majority. What is this? Pepega, I'm not Mexican, I'm American. I'm fourth gen East Asian and my grades are fine. Okay, I'm fucking congratulations. Anyway, the point is there are a shit ton of studies on this, okay, in terms of cultural assimilation. By the second generation, it's over. Aren't fat Turks also just American? They eat burger and consume 24/7? Yes. To be fat and to consume is the most American you can be. Therefore, there are many Americas all around the world for eyes to see, and there are many Americans all around the world for eyes to see. Bro shaved and put the glasses on. Oh my God. It is him. It's Jedediah. Oh, he thought he was slick, dude. He was like, oh, let me shave the beard down a little bit.
Ignored my statement, but okay.
you and your own person are a complete perfect example of why immigration is negative and why we shouldn't allow people who
Why?
don't have anything in
Why?
common with us. You're pro-abortion. You're pro-euthanasia. You're pro.
I'm
you're
pro-euthanasia. I thought
Yeah, you went. I've seen your stuff. You've defended euthanasia.
Pro-euthanasia?
Yeah, on Piers Morgan.
No, I've never discussed euthanasia with Piers Morgan in my life.
Okay, so my point is that you don't agree
Actually,
with
I'm
the
the guy
founders
here.
of this country.
If anyone watching at home, I'm the only guy here who actually supports American values, democracy, free speech, the Constitution. I've got folks here telling me they don't believe in democracy, that they're nationalists.
Wait, why should we care about that? By the way,
Isn't that what America stands for? What does America stand for?
Why?
I mean, I never defended euthanasia on Piers Morgan either, so I think he's just being. Also, what does he mean pro-abortion? Like, what founding father wasn't pro-abortion? You fucking dingus. Not that they matter ultimately, but like these guys just have made up a fantasy in their minds of what it means to be like American and espouse American values and all this shit. And it's so fucking stupid because they're talking about an America that never existed. Benjamin Franklin wrote home remedies in a fucking math book about how to do abortions at home. Okay? This concept of like being anti-abortion is a relatively new phenomena in the American right. You have literally just like in your mind created a vision. Shit. What is this? Mr. Hands 01? Hi, Hasan. I'm a Chinese teenager. I just want to say I agree with 99% of your takes on China. You've definitely helped me understand more deeply about America. Before you, I am kind of an American glazer. Even in a period of time, I think American system is better than China, obviously, because I hate censorship. But you let me realize there's a lot of shitty stuff in America and a lot of good things in China. Whenever you come to China, we welcome you with wide arms. Hell yeah. Let's go. Chinese HasanAbi head. Don't worry, I'm coming soon. I'm out here making Chinese motherfuckers respect China more. That's crazy. I don't know if that's a real chatter or not, but that's probably a troll. But I'm going to for the purpose of this argument, I'm going to act like it's real. They got banned because it was too long. Fossabot auto-clapped them. They didn't get banned. They just got suppressed. Dude, that's wild. That's wild. I'm making Chinese motherfuckers appreciate their government more. That's nothing. You got Vietnamese glazing China. That's true. That is also true.
You hate what America stands for, not me.
I'm not even.
And in fact, all the studies show that immigrants actually are more patriotic than native-born Americans.
The only reason why, that's the Mexicans in LA right now burning it down, waving Mexican.
There's nothing more American than fucking revolt. Okay, suck my dick. There's nothing more American than wanting to defend your community against a fucking fascist authoritarian, unjustifiably bringing in, unconstitutionally, mind you, mask-wearing thugs to rip apart members of our fucking community from their homes at their place of business. Suck my fucking dick, okay? Go back to Amish Town, man. Go back to Pennsylvania, bitch. Why are you in front of magical cameras speaking? Go back to churning butter, Jedediah. Fuck you mean? LA is burning. They're burning LA. Motherfucker, you're in LA. They flew your bitch ass out to chirp. Is it burning?
LA's being burned down?
Please don't send us back to the country that we're waving the flag of.
I've been in LA for a few days. I didn't see anything burned down.
Yeah, I know. The riots have ended. That's because Trump sent.
But if it's burned down, where's it all burned down? I haven't seen it. I've traveled around all of LA. You said LA was burned down. LA is 500 square miles. It's not a figure of speech, actually. It's another false claim of yours.
No, they're burning buildings.
I support euthanasia. LA's burned to the ground.
Bro, just
immigrants
listen,
hate what we stand for.
Okay, so.
What is this? Ask Murad about Mr. Hands. I'm reading a KT document written by him. I don't know what you're saying, but you're fucking annoying me, so I'm going to give you a week off.
I'm super relaxed.
So you're pro-abortion.
But you're just saying one false thing after another.
So you're pro-abortion,
and I'm
right?
standing by my position. Immigrants are good for
You're pro-abortion. You're an immigrant.
I'm pro Roe v. Wade.
Yeah,
personally, I'm not pro-abortion. If you knew anything about me, you know.
Roe v. Wade is.
All right, pause. You've been voted out.
I was going to say nice to meet you, Brian, but I guess not. You made it.
Great to see you. My name is Cyrus.
Nice to meet you, Cyrus.
I am also son of 2 immigrants, came in legally. I'm also Persian descent.
Fantastic.
Born in LA.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Tehrangelis.
Yes, yes.
Tehrangelis.
Well, I am mainly upset, not at the immigrants, legal or not. I'm mainly upset at Wall Street. I'm mainly upset at the elites, the special interests.
I'm with you.
They are the main reason why we've been having this issue since 1965. And most want to do well. There are a few bad apples, we can agree.
Okay.
But we want to go after the elites. They are the main cause of the problem.
Love it.
And just like healthcare, trade, everything.
Did you know, Cyrus, that the top 1% dodge $163 billion in taxes every year, while undocumented people pay $100 billion in tax? So I know where my anger is against.
There are issues with our tax system on the rich, but in a state like California, some taxes are too high. I used to live here, now I live in Las Vegas.
Different debate.
Okay.
I'm saying immigration is good for America.
Depends on the
People
tax.
like you and me overall are good for America is what I'm saying.
Okay, but depends on how it's done.
Yes.
It depends on how it's done.
And how it's been done to the U.S.
I'm not blaming the housing crisis on immigrants, not on wages, but in a state like California that doesn't build enough homes and they're bringing immigrants in, you have to increase supply of housing.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
But this is where our anger is at the political class.
I agree.
The Democrat Party used to have a different stance on immigration 15 years ago. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not here to defend different Democrats. What I will say is
that's our anger.
What I will say is that everyone here actually does think immigration is good for America. Everyone here uses an iPhone designed by an immigrant, is on Gmail designed by an immigrant, is on a YouTube show.
But
you
this
guys all came to a YouTube show founded by an immigrant. You wouldn't be here.
But that's
if it
a
wasn't for
tiny
an immigrant.
minority.
So you all love immigrants, whether you like it or not.
Okay, but it is a taboo subject. Should we be concerned about the demographics? So
no.
Anglo-Saxon, European American, 0% of America, it doesn't matter.
Are they 0% of America?
Well, let's say if it becomes 0%, it should not worry.
They're not going to. Why are you bringing weird hypotheticals?
But there has to. But I mean, they're still part of our country. There's culture. There's.
Yeah. What do you? None of this matters, bro. You're doing it. You're doing that. Okay. You're Persian. Like you're Persian. Okay. What are you defending here? Who gives a fuck? Why does anybody care about this? Like, oh, my Anglo-American heritage is going away. What the fuck do you mean? You're American. Okay. That's your heritage. You're American. That is what makes you different than everybody else. What the fuck is Anglo-American heritage, dude? Like, a lot of these guys end up without realizing, I mean, it's even funnier because he's fucking Persian, but like they just make an argument against miscegenation because that's the only way you can prevent that from happening. You understand that, right? The only way you can prevent like whiteness going away is by literally making it illegal to race mix. Because whiteness as a concept that is created is created around racial purity, okay? Proximity to blackness and I guess whoever else you consider to be like lesser than white.
I mean, even Britain, like,
I mean,
it
America's
concerns
gone through
me,
many
but
demographic
it
waves,
concerns me when Britain is changing,
Britain
and it's, you know, it's like
Britain's
they're
been
losing their
changing for
culture,
years.
but it's
Who said
losing
they're
their
losing their
culture.
Who
Are
says
they?
that?
Are they going to try to?
I'm
what
from
are
the
they
UK.
gonna,
I'm telling you, no one's losing their culture. in the UK.
London is going to be very little British in
Who
one
says
day. What's the plan? That's what we want to know. What's the
You
plan?
just made that up. Have you been
But
to London?
how do we know?
Cyrus, have you been to London?
No.
So then maybe you shouldn't comment on places you don't know anything about.
But what's the plan?
I grew up in London.
What's
London's
the
a very
general
British
plan?
city. I was in London a few weeks ago.
Okay.
It's a very British city.
I hope not. I understand that there are people in this audience that don't like me or you in this
Yeah,
country,
they want
and
us
I
to leave.
respect that. There's some.
Why are white boys so fucking open about their racism? Like, why are there dudes in the audience that are like, hell yeah, I don't want any of you motherfuckers here? Yo, they should not feel this safe, I think, under any circumstance. What's going on? Wokes, we got to pick up the slack here, Wokes. What are we doing here? What the fuck is this shit? Like, woke is back. I think we need to remind people that woke is back. This is crazy.
That don't even want me to date a blonde woman. They want to keep to their own, or ginger or whatever. I respect that, but there has to be a deal made. There's Idaho, there's Montana. They can go live in a homogeneous society. I don't believe in force, okay? And I believe that there has to be a deal made. And I think there.
Dude, what is this guy saying? Bro, you're brown. You're browner than me, motherfucker. What is this guy saying? Hello? Hello? There are dudes back there who unironically are like, no, get the fuck out, actually. Like, what is this argument that is like, well, there's too much. There's too much migration. Like, after me, we're done. Is that what it is? Like, he's like, it's done. We have too many fucking Persians in the country. Is that what he's saying? God, I am fascinated with like how diverse the racist movement has gotten. You know that meme where it's like racists don't give a fuck what you are as long as you're racist as fuck. I feel like that's happening more and more every day. Except they do give a fuck if you're, black or brown and racist. They just like are just kind of saying like, good, keep saying the things I want you to say for now.
There's upsides and downsides to
There was a
diversity.
deal made. People have elections, they vote for elections, and right now there's Donald Trump in the White House, not someone I support, but people voted for him.
Well, why did he get in? Mainly because we had
That's a big subject.
2016,
Not sure we have time to get into that.
2016,
There's a lot of
Bernie
reasons he got
Sanders.
in.
Okay.
Part of the reason he got in is that people in this room want people like me and you to leave, and they voted for him to try and make that happen.
I'm not surprised. One of the Charlottesville marchers doesn't like me, and I've met those people, and I respect their views.
You really shouldn't.
Well,
Don't
they're
res-
wants.
don't res-
Huh? Bro, he thinks your existence on US soil is polluting the gene pool. Why do you respect that? I think you should just respect yourself a little bit. Like, what? I respect the Nazi's Nazi attitude, even though he doesn't respect me. I respect that he wants me dead. What is happening here? What? How can someone be this cucked? A feral animal has better self-preservation skills than this fucking dumbass here, okay?
Respect racists and fascists is my advice to you.
Well, they have their preferences. You know, that's just, we can't change that.
Actually, we can. That's why I tried to come here today, but anyways.
All right, that's time. Please return to your seat.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you,
Great
Cyrus.
pleasure.
Good. My final claim is that Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing.
Okay. I'm not doing that today. I don't have time or the soul to be able to do that. We're going to pocket this part for tomorrow.